I used to believe that finding purpose was one of the most difficult things a human being can do. I thought it was extremely difficult. I remember thinking that if I could just find my purpose, if I could just find what I wanted to do, the one thing, then I would spend 12 to 16-hour days, 7 days a week, just doing this one thing. I just couldn't figure out what it was. And so I kind of just drifted through life for at least a year till I found it. But I didn't need to do that, okay? Finding your purpose is more simple than people think. It's just people don't know how to do it. So there's multiple directions we can go with it. And I think all of these tactics are going to help you out. So the first tactic and the first exercise is going to be this. Imagine you are a multi-millionaire tomorrow, but it comes with a rule. You can't go traveling. You can't party. You can't spend all your time doing degenerate shit. You can't even play video games. So ask yourself, what would you do? You have all the time in the world, all the money in the world, but you can't do any degenerate shit. So what would you do? What would you spend your time doing? Really think about that. And I promise you that one thing you're thinking about is your purpose. And the reason I say no video games is because I know for certain if I was asked this question, I would say I just play video games all day. I'd just go to the gym, play video games, play some sport, and I would be happy. But the thing is, you can play video games all day and still not be successful at it. And if you don't become successful at it, then those years are just down the drain essentially, because those skills don't translate to anything else. I was a pro gamer in another life, so I'm telling you now, it's not worth it. Your time is going to be much better utilized if you're doing something else. Now, if you can't think of anything, the reason you can't think of anything is because you are very similar to me. You see, from the age of 4, I started playing video games. And every free time I got, I played video games. All the way probably till I was about 22, 23. Now, I was lucky because at 14, 15, I had the option to be a professional gamer and I went down that path. And so when I asked this question to myself, I just thought video games, because that's what stimulated my brain and that's what I wanted to do with my free time. And the solution to this is actually very simple, okay? You are essentially a baby when it comes to purpose or when it comes to hobbies. If you ask a 5-year-old the same question and they say, I don't know, what would your answer be to them? It would be to go out and experience life, to go and figure things out. You're 5 years old, mate. You haven't even tried anything. So why don't you try something first and then maybe something will come to you? And this is essentially what you're like, because video games have hijacked all sense of hobbies or potential purpose. Now, obviously, this can take some time, and I have some shortcuts you can take. The rest of the exercises in this video are really going to help with that. But I really, really would recommend, if this is you, to take a whole year at least of completely no video games. I did this, and it changed everything. Video games hijack your dopamine. If you haven't experienced what it's like to never play video games for more than a couple of months since you were like 4 years old, it is going to be life-changing. The next way to find your purpose is this. Your soul and your heart knows exactly what it needs to do. Your heart is connected to the infinite field of intelligence, and the infinite field of intelligence knows exactly what the future is and all possible outcomes, and it also knows what you truly want deep down, because it has access to all knowledge. This is a concept talked about in the book Reality Transurfing, which is the only book out there that actually works with manifestation and that sort of thing. It's the only book. Everything else is half-truths and mostly stuff that won't work. Reality Transurfing is the only one that actually works. So your heart and your soul deep down knows what it wants, but it doesn't work with time. It just knows your very next step. That's it. It won't tell you 2 steps from now. It won't tell you 3 steps from now, or 5 steps from now, or 10 steps from now. It only tells you the next step. It's like playing a video game and it just gives you that one objective in the corner of the screen next to the map. It just tells you the next objective. It doesn't tell you the 5th objective or the 6th objective. It just tells you your very next mission. And the heart basically waits for you to do that mission. And then once you do that mission, it then gives you the next mission, and then the next mission, and then the next mission. The problem is you've just kind of put this mission on the bystander. You put it in the back of your mind because you don't think it's important. So you have to think right now, right this very second, think, what do I need to do now? What is my soul telling me to do now? What is it screaming at me to do? What has it been screaming at me to do for months that I just haven't done? And then just go and do it. Just go and fucking do it. I don't care what it is, whether it's you need to go and exercise, or you need to go out and talk to people, or you need to start a YouTube channel, or you need to do this, or you need to do that. Because I know for a fact it is screaming at you to do something, because I was the same way. And you may not like what it is. You may hate what it is. But I promise you that is just the next objective. That's just the mission task on the screen for you. So I was a pro at a really shit game. Maybe I'll tell you somewhere down the line. But it's a very popular game, but it's really shit. And I did this for 6-7 years. And my soul was screaming at me to just stop fucking playing it, you know. I wanted to do a YouTube channel on it. I wanted to branch out into the same sector because I didn't want it all to be a waste, right? That's what my mind was telling me, and that was kind of the logical thing to do, right? Because I didn't want to start from scratch. But my soul and my heart was telling me that I'm just not passionate about it anymore. And if you want to gain immense success, you have to be passionate about it. Or at least that's how I feel, because I can't work 12 hours a day on something that I don't like deep down. It's just not in me. I have to work on something that nurtures my soul. And it was telling me that I have to do something else. Like, I just need to quit it and just move on. And I off-put this for probably 3 years. That was the next objective on my task screen, and I ignored it for 3 years. And so when I eventually did quit it, I then got a next objective. And I just did that. And then I got a next objective, and a next objective, and a next objective. And I've been doing that ever since till now. And the amount of knowledge, information, just life that I've got out of that is incredible. That requires a level of retard maxing, right? Because it's just purely down to action. You need to stop thinking about it and stop letting your mind get in the way. And you just need to do whatever your soul's screaming at you to do. You just need to do it. Now, this next way is more of a logical exercise that you can do. And what's so important about this exercise is that you should do this throughout your life. You should do this whenever you feel like you're stagnating, or whenever you feel like you want to make more progress. What this exercise does is it ties into polymathy. Essentially what a polymath is it's someone who combines multiple skills to create something. For example, Da Vinci was a polymath. He was a master in a lot of different skills, where some people would think they have no resemblance to each other, but actually they do combine very well. So he was a painter, an engineer, a scientist, a sculptor, an architect, and I think he was some other things as well. But his ability to combine these things is what made him so great. In the modern day, this looks like someone probably like Joe Rogan, because Joe's mastered podcasting, he's mastered networking, he's mastered martial arts, and I'm sure there's some other things, right? But his ability to combine these things and then productize himself is what makes him so great. If he was just a master of one of these things, he would be a nobody, right? But it's because he's mastered all of these things and then combined them together. There's many other people like this. Even if you're like a YouTuber, right? You've mastered talking, you've mastered thumbnails, you've mastered doing titles. It's a very similar thing. So how do you find your version of being a polymath? So you write down every single skill you've mastered. And mastered falls under the length of if you've done it for more than 10,000 hours, and maybe you have some achievements. Write out every single skill you have mastered. Then write out every single skill you have half mastered. Ones that you've started, ones that you've made progress in, but you're not a complete master at. Now write down skills you could do all day, every day for 12 hours a day, even if you haven't started it. So that could just be talking. That could be playing football. It could even be video games if you wanted to. Literally anything. Now you're going to look at the list of these things, and what you're going to do is you're going to combine them. So let's say you've mastered sales and you've started YouTube, but you haven't really mastered it. And then you wrote video games in the other. Well, you could do a YouTube channel on sales and have a video game in the background. That's a more simple one. You could have mastered football. You could have half mastered talking, networking with people, and you could learn business for 12 hours a day, but you haven't started yet. So you could combine these things to become an agent, to become a scout, or to create some type of business that combines these things. Now there's another sector that I've not listed here, and these sectors are skills that are very easy to learn that don't take 10k hours to be proficient in. For example, talking to camera. You don't need to have 10k hours in that to be decently good at it and to combine it in your skill set. So if you've combined your skills, then you can then think, can I add one of these other skills that don't take 10k hours to master and just whack it in? So for me, I've mastered video games. I've spent 10k plus hours in the truths of the universe, spirituality, and esotericism. I'm probably coming close to that now in the self-improvement, self-development aspect. I'm coming close to 10k hours on social media because I've had social media pages before this, on TikTok, on YouTube, even when I was doing the gaming thing. And then skills on the side of that is I've mastered the art of mastery, which I'm releasing a book about. So I know how to get good at shit, basically, really quick, in the best possible way. If you can figure out what your version of a polymath is, that is going to be extremely helpful for you and is going to give you direction. And you also need to remove this whole idea about talent. So if you think you're not good at talking to camera, but you've never spent a day doing it, just wipe that from your mind and understand that your mind has essentially been castrated. Just imagine the word talent does not exist and that grown intelligence is the only thing that exists. Essentially, if you haven't done it a day in your life, that is why you're bad. But if you do it for months on end, then you'll become good at it. Never assume, and I mean never assume, that if you're bad at something, it is down to genetics or something that you were born with. Always assume it is just the amount of hours you've practiced doing that thing. I don't care what it is, whether it's just talking to people, networking, business, literally anything. It is just about the amount of hours you've done it, not about mental talents or things you were born with. So if you want more help with this, you can contact me in the email below and maybe we can start working together.